We'll start by addressing this
Uh-huh.
because I read the comments.
I don't.
I read the comments. There's a lot of very nice comments. Let me start by saying that. Good news.
That's good.
But there's a couple people who have noted the difference in the looks of our two boxes, which is frustrating because I've put a lot of effort into my box. However, we have two different things. One, I just think that my setup isn't quite as good. I think you've created a simple setup. Two, we have a better canvas on your side.
I think I'm good at the lights. I also shower and I wash my face and shave before every episode now, because I used to see on the episodes where I just roll out of bed and I'm like, ugh, can't show that to the world.
You know, it's frustrating, right? Because I look at myself right now and I go, look pretty good.
You do look very nice.
Yeah, little bright over here. I think it's a little too bright, but
bright. Yeah, a lot of
no big
variable
deal.
sunlight. Yeah,
but you know what? We did that because we wanted to look a little. But then these come out, and I'm next to you in the screen, and everybody comments. I read these comments, and they go, "Jesus, is Danny get bit by a bug before the filming of this episode?" And I go, "Oh man, come on now."
you're so mean.
I know people
It's
say
crazy how mean people are.
it's crazy. People say things with just like no sense of like, what if he reads that?
I saw porn one time and there was a comment of just saying her butthole is slightly off center. Why are you just trying to make people feel bad about things?
Also, yeah, I mean, it's so funny. God, reading. Wow, that just unlocked a new thing because, you know, I always am like, man, you really can't, you know, stand-up comedy is so personal. It's such a personal art form that when someone comments anything on stand-up that is in any way negative, it is like the most hurtful, painful thing to read. But boy, reading comments of you doing porn, can you imagine? Can you imagine?
Natalie Cuomo has done both. She's put out nude pictures of herself for a magazine, and she said putting out stand-up's way harder.
That's good to hear.
Scarier. And we do know a lot of crossover, actually. There's a lot of Kieran Fian, Janine, whatever.
I mean, I'm trying to think of who. I mean, I don't know a ton who have done both. I know a ton who put out like sexy photos. You know, but I'm talking. Can you imagine, like, if a sex tape dropped of one of us? Let's say, big leak, right? Danny Jolles, we got it. It's coming out. It's me having sex. Reading those comments would be so painful and so brutal. I can't even fathom it. Just someone being like, she seems bored. Like that. Can you imagine? Can you imagine?
Why is she on her phone?
Well, because also, like, I don't know if you feel this, but the most brutal criticism of stand-up is anything earnestly said. Like, if someone comments on my stand-up and they're like, he's ugly, it's like, oh, fuck off.
Oh, yeah.
But if someone comments and they're like, it just feels like he didn't put in as much time into this joke as he should have.
Oh, the worst.
I won't sleep for years.
What's the crowd work clip that starts? We joke about it as a crowd work clip. This house with a woman just going, I don't know. It just feels like you didn't prepare any material, and you're just kind of.
It just feels like you didn't prepare. That's how the clip begins.
You can figure out who that's about if you try hard enough.
Yeah, take a look online. See if you can figure out who we're talking about where he chose.
That's his. He made that edit. Yeah.
He chose to start the clip with, you just don't seem prepared. And then imagine.
Earnest critique.
Yeah, someone in the crowd earnestly frustrated. Earnestly going, hey, we paid money to be here tonight. Yeah. Pretend you give a shit.
Yeah.
You know, Matthew, recently you and I were talking about a couple clips that we saw online. And I try not to.
Should we start with the positive one?
Yeah, please.
Well, I shared one with you, which is Big J starting a war with D.L. Hughley. And we on I think the previous episode talked about how comics start fights for publicity and it's a disgrace to the art form. Big J is doing it. He's first of all, DL took some shots at him that are just ludicrous.
Yeah.
Earnestly, not being funny in doing so. Big J is rebutting in a way that is comedic and facetious and very entertaining. Very entertaining, and it's also like Big J is a guy who's done such good work for so long. I'm like, if you want to roll around the mud a little bit to get your name out there, I think you earned it because he's played it so honorably this whole time.
He's done everything right. He's also, if someone throws a, I'd like to think I'll never throw a at least official punch. Right? There's a chance I'll talk in vague terms about stand up I don't like.
About comedians who just don't feel prepared.
Yeah, let's say a comedian starts a clip with "you just don't seem prepared," for example. Let's say I said that on a podcast, and I said I don't like, and this is and again, this is a crazy stance. I don't like when stand-up comedy opens with an audience member frustrated that the comedian isn't doing his job. That to me feels like a bad. However, I will caveat that with I would never personally, probably never name call somebody out. Name somebody, call somebody out, it is kind of the best thing that can happen because it gives you the ability to go, okay, now I will fight back. And one time, someone did kind of call me out by name, and I did fight back.
You did, but you made it funny and good.
I didn't attack too hard. But for the record, when you get called out by name, it's like, oh, okay, we're allowed to do this now. And I thought Big J did a great job of going, yeah, okay, now we're doing this.
I did it once. I made fun of Nick DiPaolo. He had like a ad running for his special. It was like too raw for Comedy Central, too real for Netflix. And I made like a fake one of like too large for Vimeo. And it was just kind of like I'll be honest. I was making fun of it. I was absolutely making a joke at his expense, and he sent me a message, or he started posting about it, and I was like, "Yeah, I guess I am making fun of another comedian." And I didn't run it by them first. Maybe if I just said, "Hey, Nick, I'm gonna put this out. I'm not trying to like take it down too much, but I'm just having fun with something you did."
Yeah,
but it was a bad feeling.
It's a bad feeling
when you're being a dick.
I don't want anyone to feel like they're attacked. That said, if you start a stand-up clip with an audience member yelling, "You just don't seem prepared," I will potentially bring it up.
Yeah.
And
you were saying, well, the clip we were sharing was of a comic a different clip of a comic who had really upset a crowd member. And it's bad when me, the comic watching, is siding with the crowd member.
Yeah. Yes. It is bad when you and I, two comedians, are watching a video of a comedian and going, the other person.
Yeah.
Because it's like, there's that great Chappelle joke about Kramer.
Yeah, right.
Right, which is like something that's always, I think because it's classic Chappelle's so true that it's
so
like
simple. Yeah.
So simple and unlocked like a real feeling in me where I was like, wow, that's so true. Like I am more comic than I am anything else. That was such a beautiful observation.
Yeah.
And it's so funny.
And how we don't pick the teams we're supposed to pick.
Yeah. And then, but it's so crazy because that is probably true for all of us. But watching this video this week where a comedian makes an audience member feel really bad and openly express that they feel bad. And here's what bothered me, which is, listen, some people are going to watch this. They're going to say, this guy's old fashioned. This guy's an old fart. This guy's just yelling at the sky with his bullshit highfalutin principles.
Mm-hmm.
There might be people who say that. But I like to believe that the art form of stand-up comedy is when a human being walks on stage with a microphone, says jokes into those microphones, and the goal is to make the audience laugh. That is the definition I have of stand-up comedy.
Rigorous. It's a rigorous
That's
definition. Yes.
that's my definition. Is you're going on stage, you're holding a microphone, you are making the audience laugh. You can do that, and that, by the way, open it up. That means you can do crowd work. That means you can use props. That means you can have a guitar. I'm not here to judge. I'm just saying the basic idea of this art form is you go on stage and you make people laugh. So if you're going on stage and if you're making people scream or fight or cry, that is bad. You're not doing the job well. Stop in any way putting that out, because people watch this and they go, what is stand-up? You're making it confusing what we do.
Yeah.
You're making people go, so if I go to a stand-up show, is there a chance I just get yelled at? I'm
Could you argue that it's like any advanced entertainment's going to blur the lines? Like a good scary movie might make you laugh, or you know what I mean?
You're here. Yes,
I would say if just upsetting a person who paid to be there is just in my own personal sense. I'm just audience members paid to be there. I feel a great responsibility for them enjoying themselves on any given occasion. So it's wild to me that someone would seek to do the opposite.
If we're making a horror movie, we're allowed to make people
everyone come.
Pretty good horror movie, but I would say, talk about not seeing it coming. Am I right?
Yeah, dun, dun, yeah.
What is horror except something unexpected happening? However,
horror makes you scared. Comedy makes you laugh. Horror makes you scared.
Yes, but I would argue if you're going to make a horror movie, you can have funny moments. We can do Get Out, right? Like Get Out's a great example of that, right? So funny. Rel giving one of the greatest comedic performances. It was so funny in that movie. However, you also have to deliver the baseline premise, right? You can do stand-up comedy and make people feel. You can do stand-up comedy and make people feel cry with joy. You can make people feel sad. You can make people, I like to think, right? I think the goal I personally have, but I think this is like my personal thing, is like I want to do stand-up, but I also want you to leave and like maybe thinking about the world in a slightly different way. Those are all subplots. But if at any point I stop making you laugh, then I've lost that's the thing. You can do.
What if it really doesn't make people laugh at all and it's barely even attempting to be funny, but it's 30 minutes instead of an hour? Then during award season, do we count it as a comedy instead of a drama? This is a reference to The Bear, a great show, but a travesty of a categorization because it was only 30 minutes. They had to call it a comedy. What are we doing?
Nobody understands. Nobody understands. It's insulting to our art form.
The opposite of the Chappelle Kramer situation happened to me. I was in the green room with Vulcan. This was like maybe 5 years ago. A comic, I won't say who, but a very experienced one, came back in the green room. We were all it was a rip roaring night. Everyone was having a good time on stage and in the crowd. And the rapper Danny Brown comes into the green room. Are you familiar?
Of course.
What a character! What a talent! He's very upset. He comes up to that comic in front of all of us, saying, "Why'd you have to pick on me? Why'd you have to go after me? I'm the only black guy in this room. I'm with a white girl. That was just not cool, man. Can you apologize?" The comedian says, "No, if I apologize for one joke, I have to apologize for every joke. And these are jokes. I'm not going to apologize for making a joke. I'm not going to apologize for happening to call you out." And then Danny's like, it's just kind of fucked up. Like, I'm a rapper. A video of this comes out, it could kind of ruin my reputation. I also feel picked on for a lot of different reasons. And, I'm obviously siding with the comedian during all of this. And then Danny just kind of opens up to the rest of the room and goes, "I'm not a comedian. I can't do what you guys do. But if I feel like if I did, I would want to do my material, not just talk to the crowd. I'd have things to say that I worked on, that I'd want to show people, right?" And I was like, "Ooh, oh, man, I don't say this often, but I would kind of want to see you do stand up.
Yeah.
You have a lot of integrity as a creator, and I respect you a lot at this moment.
Dude, that's an electrifying. I don't know if you've ever told me that story. That's wild.
I had to put on a poker face, or I'm like, oh God, I am so with him in this moment.
Were other comics? Did other comics feel? My question is, because this is some would argue I've dreamed of this moment happening. Where someone articulate comes backstage to somebody doing, again, you can do crowd work, just crowd work, no material. We're talking, there's probably 5 comics I can think of who really can do that well. And about 2,000 doing it right now. There's about 5 though who I'm like, genuinely, honestly, they can just walk on stage. It kind of works. They've just gotten that good at it. Did they have, when he said it, was there a shame in the room, or was everybody like, he doesn't get it?
I only felt what I was feeling and didn't look around too much. I felt alone in my resonance with his statement. But it was an interesting moment. I was like, that's wild. It's wild that someone who's never tried comedy has a better opinion of what the craft is than someone who is really good at it, who does crowd work and material and has for 20, 30 years.
Yeah.
I just... forgive me if I've said this before, but for me personally, you're right. There's some good crowd work. I'm jealous I can't do it, but I've always felt like watching a comic do crowd work is probably how mimes feel watching another mime talk. You kind of broke the main rule of it, in my opinion. If you're building your whole act around crowd work, if you're not working on material, if you're like fishing, like especially the just so who are you two? What are you two?
Yeah, that's the thing that gets, because like we all use the crowd. There is an element of, I always want to remind the crowd, there's no in as much as I can. There's no script. I'm doing material, but there's no scripts.
There's no script.
I can acknowledge you at any moment. I could talk to you at any moment. I can use you guys to get there. But it's the fishing. The thing that I think drives us nuts is when we see the clip of someone just being like, so. So you drove here, did you? Or where are you from? And you're just like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Yeah. Get going, baby.
There's a comic in Indianapolis. I love the term crowd work. He calls it inviting the vampire into the house.
Nice.
What are you doing? You invited the vampire into the house. They were great. Why'd you have to do that? There's also the feeling of there are people who prefer crowd work shows to material shows. And there are also people who prefer books with lots of pictures.
But
and I have a similar contempt,
That is so, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's like, how I feel about it.
That's how I feel about it. But you know what? I've moved on. And I've said, you know what? As long as they're enjoying the book.
As long as they're reading.
As long as they're reading, I have moved on, and I've gone, no problem. But if your book is making people cry or get angry or feel sad and not read, that's where I am officially drawing the line and saying, if you put out that video, I'm going to get mad.
Yeah. But I get mad at most clips I see. I get mad at material. I get mad at
that. But there's a difference between. But that's the thing. There's a difference between me being like, I don't like this, and you're hurting our art. Yeah, you're hurting the craft. Carrot Top and I have different ways of doing stand-up comedy. But Carrot Top makes.
You're in Vegas coming up. You should go see him. You have nights off too.
Totally. And guess what? I would love it, because guess what Carrot Top does? He makes the crowd laugh.
Yeah.
Every night.
He's supposedly really good.
I think he's supposed to be great. I mean, I've watched a ton of Carrot Top over the years.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I watch everything. I watch this. I watch a lot of specials. I watch a lot of.
Yeah, I don't mean to be an old timer. There is good crowd work out there. I also think that the internet is starting to sort it out. I think people are getting tired of it. I think my cousin said that we're really finally starting to see all of entertainment recover from the pandemic. I think there's just been a real glut of fast fashion entertainment on all fronts, stand up, social media, TV, movies, reality shows. We're getting back to good TV shows. We're getting back to good movies, both right now.
What a box office.
What a box office.
What a box office
$1 million
moment.
budget. Obsession, $1 million budget.
$1 million
I've made
budget.
movies for. I've been in $1 million movies. You haven't heard of them, and you never will. $1 million is a student film. You fucking understand what $1 million is?
And they beat
150
Star
million
Wars.
already. What's that?
Star Wars.
Beat Star Wars.
It beat Star Wars. It's so cool. I love it.
Cool.
I love it. And the only thing that keeps pissing me off, here's a rant, keeps pissing me off because I'm so happy for both of those films, Obsession and Backwards, both, is people keep going, it's the era of YouTube stars. It's the era of YouTubers. And I go, they're not YouTube stars. Neither of those directors were massive YouTube audiences. They just made things on YouTube.
They just make things.
It wasn't Mr. Beast.
Everyone-
It wasn't. Yeah.
Same with Vine. Oh, he's a Vine star. I'm like, it's people, and I'm not one of these people. It's people who are swelling with ideas and need to keep making things, and will use every avenue they can to create things. That Curry dude, what's his name? Curry Barker?
Yeah.
Dude, he's from Mobile, Alabama. He's 26 years old. He's already made more than some good artists have in a life. Like, that's not true. But you know what I'm saying.
He made a great film, and he made sketches online. His sketch group, they
Great
had
sketches.
views.
Yeah.
They have views. The great sketches. However, it wasn't. He's not Mr. Beast. Like, the lesson isn't that. To me, the lesson is a very small amount of people, because it isn't a ton of money, invested in somebody who was clearly making cool things that they liked,
Who
and
can't
he
be
made
stopped
something
from making things.
and then he made something great.
Yeah.
And that's the story. The story is, if we invest in people we believe in, there's a chance they might make something great and we can make a lot of money. That, to me, was the lesson. That's the lesson I hope is taken.
That's hopeful. I like that.
That, to me, because I've already heard a couple Hollywood people be like, the era of YouTube stars. I'm like, they're not YouTube stars.
That's so silly.
They're
Dude,
not
if
YouTube
Steven Spielberg was 18 years old today, he'd be making stuff and putting it on YouTube.
Yeah. Well, you and I, we make stuff. I made stuff on YouTube. You and I make stuff. I still make stuff on YouTube. We'll all make stuff on YouTube. I'm not a YouTuber, right? I'm a person. That's the avenue I can make things on. So that's what I do. But I think the real lesson is you can't just Hollywood your way into a big box office.
Yeah.
You have to make something good. God, it made me happy. I was fired up by it.
I'm psyched, man. I'm very happy about all of it.
Ugh.
I'm pretty. My energy's lower today. I told you the whole situation. We were flying. I was in Ireland and then France for a wedding, and we had a flight out of Paris home. 2:40 flight. We get there. We get on the plane. They say we're leaving early. There's some issues. We pull back. We pull out 3.5 hours on the tarmac. They bring us out, let us into the terminal. Now the terminal's closed. There's no food open. They didn't give us any food on the plane. I didn't eat breakfast. And we wait there another 3 hours. They're not really making many announcements. They're saying, we'll keep letting you know, but we don't know if we don't know when the flight's going. Meanwhile, the terminal's closed, so you can't leave the terminal because there's no security to get back in. So we're stuck in there for another 3 hours. There's a full plane of people lining up for 3 agents. I get in line because we don't know what to do about hotel, about our bags. One of the agents just leaves, so I'm stuck in a line that doesn't go anywhere. So we have to go into other lines. And then they close the terminal. I never get to talk to an agent. We don't know about I call. They're like, we'll talk to the agents. No hotel. We figured out they kept our bags overnight. So we just went and bought a hotel. So just a whole day sitting in a terminal with no food in Paris, ostensibly, but
you're not.
Mad.
But you're not. You're not in Paris when you're in an airport.
You're not in Paris. No.
You're in an airport.
No, and we stayed in an airport hotel. Now, here's the thing. Laura and I, my wife, were flying together, and I started a note of all the things we're going to say in our email to try to just milk them. All the it wasn't just a mechanical failure. It was a failure of personnel. It was a failure of your infrastructure. We were left with no food for 8 hours. We're your most loyal customers, and this is how you treat us. You need to. This is the worst day of travel. Like, we started writing it together, and I realized how much of a bonding experience it is to send one of those letters as a couple. A lot of times I get fucked over by travel. I'm alone, and you try to explain it to people, and their eyes gloss over. Oh, they didn't have your bags. It's really tough. But together, ooh,
yeah, you're both equally mad. You're like, we're gonna channel this anger that normally kind of goes at each other.
Yes. Yeah, we didn't fight at all yesterday. We actually
because
had
you
a
took it
common
towards
enemy.
that.
It was like Republicans and Democrats after 9/11, but like we have to work together.
We have a common enemy.
Yes. At one point I was in line and the person had walked away, and I was like, Laura, film this. show the line with no one at the front of it.
She's so excited. She's like, oh my God.
Wide angle. Don't have me looking at the camera.
Look angry. Matthew, look really pissed.
Was that the last one? Again. It's great, man. It's fun. It's fun starting little wars with companies. Man, I will say, as an American, I forget how much our whole culture is built around the customer being right all the time. Because in Europe, they're not.
For better or for worse. I mean, I've been working on a joke about lawyer commercials and how honest they are. And I really I do think it's like a real observation of like, we think of lawyers as the most dishonest, but the way they make commercials now is the most honest. There's something about American lawyers and the American law system now where there is no more bullshitting. It's like every law commercial is just, it's a guy in front of a bookcase with a bunch of books, and he's just like, you're hurt. I like money. Let's work together.
Yeah.
That's their whole commercial. And you're like, smart. That's honest. That's real. That's America.
That's the line I love. It's one of the best lines in any movie to me, is from The Big Short. He's so transparent and his self-interest, it's almost refreshing.
Oh, that's one of my. Wait, you're talking about the part where he's like, how are you going to fuck us?
I don't know. It's Greg Lipman. I'm sorry. It's Ryan Gosling's character.
Thank you. Yes, I think there's a moment where it's such a good moment because it's a moment where Jeremy Strong, that nobody knew at the time.
Oh yeah.
It's like right when they're about to do a deal, and he goes, tell me how you're going to fuck us. Tell me how you're going to fuck me. Why are you doing this? And he's like, I'm going to fuck you on the back end. I'm going to make a ton, but here's the thing: you're going to make so much money, you're not going to care. And then he's like, okay, we'll do the deal. Sick. And I love that scene. I mean, I've watched that movie 2 million times, but I love that scene because it's like, yeah, that's and it's such a good, and it's also like his character asking, like, where are you fucking me? Mm-hmm. You're not doing this for charity. Why are you trying to fuck us?
Yeah.
When is it going to happen? And then he's like, that's what I like about lawyers now. Lawyers have very much openly gone, yeah, we're just trying to make money. We're trying to sue people here.
Yeah. Yeah.
You want to do it with us? You want to get on this shit?
Yeah. I don't know if it's bad or good. It's a level of authenticity that's appreciated, but
I like it.
I also don't think there's a person I'm thinking of in particular that again, self-awareness has become a plague. People understand how they're perceived better than they ever were because of the amount of exposure we have through social media, the amount of memes and tropes we get to go through. Oh, I'm a Karen. And a lot of times you think when someone admits to being a slime ball or having some negative trait, we instinctively go, oh, they must not be that bad because they're acknowledging it. But then they've learned that. So then they, whatever. I'm in it for myself. I'm not a good guy. And you're like,
yeah,
he's a good guy. And
yes.
They do devious things and they keep showing the awareness. And it's no better. Authentic evil is still evil.
I think it's better than evil, though.
It's more predictable.
It's more predictable. It's more. I've learned to go, hey, just tell us what you're doing here. The thing I've grown so tired of, let's call them politicians. saying, let's call them senators, saying, we just care about making America better. Don't worry about us trading stocks. And it's like, just say you're trading stocks to make money. Just say it. Why do we have to argue about this? Like, why do we have to make this a whole conversation? Why do I have to sit at home, have to look at you, tell me, wait, what's the big deal? What's the big deal? And I have to just rage hits me to here. And I have to go, you know it's a big deal. You know I care. Of course I care.
But if they're still fucking you over just as much and being transparent about it, why is that better? If it still creates,
because we can have a real conversation.
Doesn't what's that?
Because I can have a real conversation. Then it's a real conversation.
Okay.
Then
I've found that people are really manipulating that tactful self-awareness.
I don't disagree with what you're saying. I think it's a fair, valid point. I know plenty of people who do that. I also think it's to jump on your side led to some people going, I said I'm a Karen, so now I just get to be a Karen. It's like, oh no, in theory you want to not be a Karen. Like in theory we want to better ourselves.
There's a self-improvement that comes with it. What's the word I'm looking for? Not penance, some kind of betterment of self. Yeah. God, I wish I could remember the word. I always struggle for this word. But it's annoying. It's annoying, and I hope it goes away. I miss when people were unaware. That was more fun. I like unaware people. I've always had a soft spot, man. I don't know why. I don't know. I think it was like because of I was in the engineering department in college, and there was a lot of people who have that kind of temperament. And there's just, when I meet someone like that, they're always missing a little bit socially, and I'm just more at ease around them.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because they're doing, because a lot of times they're failing on a couple small levels in terms of social and situational awareness, whether it's the content of what they're saying or just having like a weird way of speaking. And I find it refreshing. First of all, because you know what you're getting. They're not going to be, because they're more socially inept, they're not capable of obfuscation, so that makes me feel at ease. And there's also some maybe self-reflection of like, this is kind of who I am deep down a little bit, but I've worked really hard to not be such a bucking bronco of social faux pas. But I always feel at ease around someone who's like hyper left-brained.
Yeah. I also think like, it's an interesting point because I've had so many observations recently where like so many conversations where, we talk to more people than the average person. Let's just remember that. You and I talk to more strangers than most people do.
Yeah.
And I have found that more and more strangers are approaching me with their own version of a stand-up comic, who am I? Like, people approach and they're like, hi, nice to meet you. I know my eye is a little weird, but it's just so nice to meet you. Like, they start calling things out that you're like, you're good. Just be you.
Why are they doing this? What are they doing and why are they doing it?
I think because we're so aware. People have become so aware of who they are and their flaws that they're calling out their own flaws to me, like a who am I that stand-ups do. When you start doing stand-up, the first thing you learn is like you're going to have to call out what's weird about you.
Yes.
Because the crowd is all watching this.
I've watched people who are not in the entertainment world at all have an opening joke.
Yes. That's what I'm saying. People
I know, I look like a blank fucked a blank. I'm like,
yeah, and you're like, you don't have to do that. I have to do that. You don't have to do that.
It's like, this is not the situation for that line.
Yeah. Right?
Dude, it's happening. Right. It's happening so much.
Yes.
Yeah. Like people will get up and talk at like a wedding and they'll have, and it's very formulaic. You're like, oh, that's a roast battle joke.
That's a roast battle joke. And it's like, hey,
I sound like Woody from Toy Story swallowed a dildo.
Yeah. And it's like, and you're like, you sound fine. I have to say that because I go up in front of people and I have to create a sense of community. And the quickest thing for me to do is go, the thing you're all looking at, I also have looked at, and now we're on the same page. Yeah, it brings us all together. You don't have to do that. Just be you.
Wow, that's a good observation. Yeah, you're right. That's been happening a lot. my shows lately have been. It was originally a lot of. Roast Battle brought people out. I had that gynecology set, and that was kind of the split in the crowd. Now it's a more talking about being Jewish. There's a lot of Jews and a lot of math people now, and the people talking to me after the shows are either Jewish or like obsessed with math, and that can be, that's a specific kind of hang. There's very little boundaries.
Sure.
there's not much awareness. It's fun for me because I am both those things and know how to communicate with both those people. But sometimes Laura will be with me at the table. She was like, "That person was interesting."
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Oh yeah. I mean, but they're coming out. You're selling tickets. You're moving
Not
things.
complaining.
Wait, can I do one last rant?
Yeah, I didn't even get to mine, but yeah.
Good. Do you want to do yours? I did a bunch. I feel like I ranted my little heart out this episode.
You know what? Let me save it for when I have more energy because I want to talk about.
You want to say
talk about GLPs. I want to talk about semaglutide. It's not semaglutide. It's semaglutide. On a future.
And I know
episode,
the difference.
Like you do. You do.
Don't worry. I know the difference.
Do you? Okay.
Smagletides? I sound like you made up that word.
Yeah, they're
That's if I was making up. That's if I was doing a doctor act out on stage, and I was like, "Listen, you take your smagletides, and you're good." Like
pronouncing it like Yiddish, it's semaglutide.
Yeah, but that's my doctor. Anytime I do a doctor or a lawyer, I always go into like, "Listen, smagletides."
Semaglutide.
If you take a smaglutide, you're gonna lose a bunch of weight. Okay.
What you got? What you got for chest?
Matthew, we've entered one of the most fascinating times of the year in the baseball season. It is Pride Month.
Oh.
Baseball is the only sport that takes place during Pride Month, all the way through. So they will dedicate a month to Pride. What does that mean, Matthew? It means they're going to put little rainbows around. It means they're going to put a little rainbow patch on people. It means that occasionally they're going to say Happy Pride Month.
Mm-hmm.
It means that that's really it. That's basically it. Maybe a PSA on occasion of, hey, but nothing hard political. Nobody kissing. Nothing. Just there's pride for the month. And every year, 90% of baseball fans don't care. Who cares? But every year, there is this group of absolute losers that emerge from the ground that go, what is baseball doing? Why do we have to be hit in the face with this thing? And I just literally have been sitting. I cannot stand it every time that MLB posts some, again, just pride thing. Just anything with the word pride, just a bunch of comments. You know what? I'm not done with this league because, God forbid, we don't have anything. And it's like, hey, you're the wrong people. Because your entire case is every single person that gets angry about this goes, I don't care. Hey, I'm not hateful. I don't care if you're gay. Just don't slam it in my face. And it's like, then this is the one. This is the easiest one for you to win on. Just shut up for a little. It's a flag. Do you know what's on the other side of that flag? A insurance company that bought a sponsorship. You're not yelling about the insurance company. You're yelling about the flag. Who gives a shit? The biggest losers on earth, I swear to God, get angry about Pride Month in baseball. And we have to have this conversation every year. And every year I go, how could it possibly impact you, you losers? I've had it. Thank you.
Okay. Why do you think these people do it?
I don't know. And every year I go, okay, but you are openly admitting, because the whole thing is, I think there's a case to be made of, hey, okay, fine. Like the guy who goes, I have nothing against gay people. I just don't like it slammed to my face. Okay, let's play that game. Sure. Okay, listen, whatever. Okay, fine. Okay. You're trying to watch a TV show. Now there's two men making out. Okay, whatever. Maybe you're confused. It's a flag. It's a fucking flag, Matthew. It's a fucking flag. Who gives a shit? It's a flag. Just let him wear the flag on the uniform and move on with your goddamn life. You losers. I don't understand it. And it's such an easy line to me where it's like every now and then something comes along where it's like, hey, just it's an easy given.
Do you think the flag makes certain members of the LGBTQ community go, "That's nice"?
Yes,
Yeah,
I do. I think it's
I do
I think
too.
that some people go. I actually don't think it's. But then, by the way, that's all they get out of it. I don't think it's like an amazing gesture by MLB. It's not like I'm like, wow, they've really stuck their neck out. It's like all they do is it's Pride Month and they'll put up a little thing and they say Happy Pride. Like they're not. This isn't a grand statement, which is why it's so annoying when these people get upset about it. Because I'm like, this isn't a grand statement. They're not doing this whole thing again. There's no people kissing. There's no couples walking out together. It's nothing. It's a flag.
People are losers.
It's just losers. Just shut up. Just
Are they
watch
real? Are they
baseball.
bots? Do we know they're bots? I'm
That I
convinced
don't know.
everything's a bot now. I'm convinced all of the culture wars are psyop, and I'm no longer buying into it. I'm not participating. Is my new rule.
Well, I just got real worked up about it. So congrats. I'm still participating and getting angry over here.
I want to get. I want to get in those arguments in person. That's what I want. I want to meet that loser so bad.
So badly.
So,
So badly. I just want
yeah.
to sit around and be like, what is the actual issue
Yeah.
with the pin, with the little flag? What is the problem? But yes, there's a chance I'm fighting shadows.
Possibly. I went to Peru. I did the Machu Picchu, and there was those flags everywhere, and I was like, it's so cool. This country is so pro gay people. And then I realized it was I believe it was the Inca flag. It was like the ancient flag of the Inca people. It's slightly different. There's like two blues instead. I'm like, what a progressive nation. I never would have thought, medium to low income country in South America would be so supportive of this marginalized community.
Yeah. And then you're like, oh.
Oh, okay.
But I do bet but you know what's funny is that you have that reaction, which means there's for sure a bunch of like losers down in Machu Picchu walking around being like, fuck the country's all but goddamn, you can't go anywhere.
Ancient ruins. Don't have to shove it in my face.
You know what? I just don't want to have it. I don't. You know what? Can I just go to the ancient ruins without having it shoved in my face? It's bullshit. Like
Yeah.
they just angrily walk around the ancient ruins.
What if there's someone who
stomping around.
hates Incans? He was like, I thought it was gay people. I'm sick of these Incans shoving their culture and their dragon god in my face and their ancient ways and harvesting grain on the sides of mountains by building a staircase. It's not natural. Harvest grains on flat fields, not mountains.
That's.
Riding alpacas, not even llamas, alpacas.
I want the person. I want the person who's angry at ancient people for doing things the way they did it.
Yeah.
It's a fun character. Just every historical site they walk into, just like churning butter. Just put it in an oven.
Milking cows, did you get their permission to touch them?
Yeah,
Did you get consent?
just somebody going to Williamsburg, Virginia, just trying to absolutely ruin their time. Shout out Williamsburg,
Williamsburg. Speaking of Williamsburg, Danny, where are you going to be?
who knows? You can catch me in Columbus, Ohio. You can catch me in Columbus, Ohio. You can catch me in L.A. June 16th. The return of Sasquatch. Doing a live show.
Oh, that's so cool. Sasquatch is so funny. If you haven't seen Sasquatch, listeners,
So
go check
funny
out
doing
these sketches. The cigarette one. What's the cigarette one called?
Smoking is hard.
Smoking is hard. Watch Smoking is hard. It's just really perfect sketch in a way that
This
I
is.
lost.
I appreciate. Well, we're doing this new show that's like it's like a mountain broadcast like local broadcast. It's gonna be so cool. We're gonna be there. There's a bunch of special guests. It's also a live stream. So if you don't live in LA, you can buy tickets to watch it live and join us. We will be polling the live stream. So excited about it. Get tickets for that. And you can also catch me in San Francisco, Las Vegas, St. Louis, and more at punchup.live Danny Jolles.
And you can catch me in Phoenix, New Orleans, Mississippi, Vermont, all over Texas, Montana, West Chicago, Charleston, South Carolina, Pittsburgh, Carolina, Portland, Atlanta, Detroit, Dallas, Fort Lauderdale, Denver, Philly, Chicago, Providence. A lot. Broussard.live. Make sure, don't Google me, because there's another website that looks really good at the top of Google, which is crazy. And that's another thing Europe has is consumer protections, and apparently that's socialism.
And on that,